What is the difference between a successful e-commerce founder and a failed one? Well, after building my own successful e-commerce business to become an ASOS.com partner brand, and since worked with over 100 other teams as a growth advisor, I've identified the exact blueprint you need to get you to where you want to be in the shortest time possible with the least amount of money. To be crystal clear, most successful e-commerce founders follow a predictable pattern, but they execute it backwards from what you'd expect. So I'm giving away the full e-commerce blueprint here on YouTube. Link below if you want your own copy. The core phases of building a successful e-commerce brand are flexible planning, getting early customer traction, transitioning to revenue, and finally growth looping, which has changed the outcome of every single project I've ever been involved with. So this one is critical. Okay, phase one, the flexible plan. Whether you've got a product or not, this phase stops you from wasting 6 months building the wrong thing. By now, hopefully you've heard that to succeed in e-com, you have to focus on the people and not the products. And if you haven't heard that, try listening to 12 Months to $1 Million by Ryan Moran. With this in mind, our first task of the blueprint is to define who those people are and understand them to the core. Step one, customer discovery. You need to get out of your head and into your customer's world. And that means talking to real people and not just sending out Google Forms and pretending that means you understand them to the core. Whether online or in person, you need to be having conversations and you need to be listening for the exact language they use, what frustrates them daily, what they've already tried that hasn't worked, and what they wish existed in the space. And the pros will keep all this data documented somewhere so that we don't get swayed by emotion later down the line. Step two, problem solution mapping. Once you understand the customer, please don't rush in to build it. Take your time to map out the full problem ecosystem in this exact audience's world. That means understanding all the smaller problems that surround the bigger one. What leads up to it, what happens after it, what are they doing right now? If you don't do this, you risk solving the wrong problem. A pro tip, remember that people don't buy a product, they buy a solution. So make sure your messaging and your marketing aligns with this. If you're selling protein powder, you're actually selling body confidence. If you're selling foldable bikes, you're actually selling time with the family because your commute is quicker. Okay. Step three, a very loose product idea. And this is now weirdly the easiest step in all of phase one. Your customer avatar has these deep pains and you are going to fix one or more of them. Find or design a basic solution to the problems. And don't worry, it's gonna morph over time. This product you actually start with isn't gonna look exactly the same as the product that ends up making your brand famous. Final step in phase one is the risky assumptions framework, and I absolutely love this one. This task alone will increase the chances of your success drastically. And believe me when I say that founders are extremely grateful when I make them go through this process, as it saves so much pain in the future. Essentially, we want to highlight every single risk that could kill your business. And instead of pretending like they don't exist, we face them head on and we make the necessary changes to de-risk them. Start out by listing every single assumption about the future of your business that you're making, about your customer, about your product, your price point, your messaging. Then ask yourself, if this assumption is wrong, does the whole idea fall apart? And if yes, that's a big risk, right? Often you'll need to go and find the answers to these questions, which if you've done step one, the customer discovery, correctly, you already have. Focus on the riskiest ones first. It's better to kill a bad idea on week 3 than spending 6 months just to realize it was never going to work. Trust me, I spent 7 years building a business that I could have de-risked. I was just too scared to face them. Okay, if you've reached this point in your journey, you now have 4 of the most important components for a successful e-commerce brand. Yes, customer discovery takes some time, but it really is the most important section. The other 3 can be done in an afternoon. And if you want to go deeper on phase 1, then this video does that for you. Even though at this point, your product isn't polished or perfect, it's time to move on to the most important component that wraps everything together. Phase 2, customer traction. Now we need to actually prove that people care enough about solving this problem to actually pay for your product. And this is about gaining traction whilst iterating and improving that product. So step 1, perfect customer avatar. You should already know this from your customer discovery, but at this point, I want you to really dive into it and focus on the details. And remember to exclude any groups that don't really connect with your current idea. Base this avatar on real conversations and not guesswork. We want more than just demographics. We want to focus on their core problem, their desired identity, so who they want to be, the emotional triggers that lead them to purchase. Knowing all of this is how you write copy that actually converts. Step 2, the bullseye marketing framework. You don't need to be on 5 platforms. In fact, spreading yourself thin across 5 platforms is the worst way to go. You need to be on one channel at the right moment with the right message. All marketing strategies ever fit in to one or several of these 19 possible channels. Your job as a founder is to find the 1 or maybe 2 channels that actually move the needle for you. Start by narrowing it down from 19 to just a few channels that make sense for your target audience. So where do they spend their time digitally and physically? Remove the rest. Then look at your own resources and skill set to see which of these smaller batch of channels is perfect for you to focus on. And you move those into the center of this diagram and they'll be labeled as the golden channels. So quick example here, if your avatar is already searching on Google for a product like this, then SEO or SEM, so search engine optimization or search engine marketing, is a sensible choice for you. But on the other hand, if it's a really high ticket item, then you're likely going to need some sort of sales in the process. If you want a full deep dive on how to use this framework properly, you can watch this video. Okay, step 3, minimum viable product. I'm sure you've heard of an MVP. Most people overbuild here. A true MVP is the simplest and cheapest way to test your core hypothesis. It could be as simple as a landing page with a pre-order function. Even reselling a similar product, just please keep it simple at this point. Don't go on a long process of designing a fancy product and having to spend tons of money on it. The goal here is to learn whether people will act when you put the right product in front of them. And if we can't get anybody to act with our basic product, then it's not going to suddenly be fixed by making a slightly better product. This MVP is more of a process. Each time you have some success, you build the next stage to it until finally you do have a product that you're really proud of. But the key is that people are actually purchasing it because you've built it for them and not for just yourself. There's a difference. Step 4, transitioning to revenue. This is what everybody's excited about, obviously. It's time to take the leap and source your own products. Unless you're building a marketplace, I guess. If all previous steps have been completed correctly, then this is actually one of the easiest things to do and the most satisfying. Swap out your MVP for your first batch of real products and be comforted in the fact that you know that they're going to sell the same, if not faster, than your MVP was. And if you can't afford your first run of products, then you'll have to twist your MVP to create those funds for you. And yes, when we're designing products, things can go wrong, but just let the data guide you and don't make too many emotional decisions when it comes to product design. Quick reminder that you can get this full checklist in a nice, neat digital board in the link below. Just check it off as you work your way through it. No email required at all, just make a copy of the board for yourself. Okay, that's phase 2, which is honestly the real battlefield. It's where the winners are made and the losers are also made. If you reach the end of this section, it means you've got a reliable source of customers. It means you've got a product those customers actually want to buy. And it means you've got the funds coming in to keep fueling your marketing test. This is the best feeling in business and it should be your main goal. Okay, phase 3, scaling. Earlier, I mentioned growth looping. This is something that has changed my personal career and the way I approach every single business that I've been involved with. It's essentially where you run nice and easy, fast experiments to test offer variations, price points, CTAs, anything that your customer experiences on their journey to purchase. And here we want to track behavior and not really opinion, because people lie in surveys. They don't even know it sometimes, but they lie to themselves and they lie to you. But they don't lie with their behaviors and, more importantly, with their wallet. I want you to implement a weekly experimentation cycle where you block out your Wednesday afternoon or whatever it is to read the analytics from last week's tests, see if it made an improvement, revert the changes back if it didn't make an improvement, hypothesize what your next issue is going to be that you're going to solve, It's these week-on-week 1% improvements that drastically change your business over years. Okay, step 2, scaling and multiplying marketing channels. We want you to double, triple down on the marketing channels that are working. And you do really need to take advantage of this, as the world of marketing moves fast, and just because it's working now does not mean it's going to work in a month or two's time. And if you start to hit a natural limit on those channels, then it's time to find new ones. And you don't need to start from scratch here. You want to take what's worked on your previous channels and try and transfer them across as much as you can. Remembering that each new platform kind of requires new formats, but the core fundamentals mostly remain the same. Just like growth looping, track everything you can and make daily changes if you can to nudge each of the important metrics in the right direction. Actually, this is what's known as funnel building. You've probably heard that term a lot, which is good because it's a critical skill that you're going to need to acquire to succeed on this journey. And if you want to learn how to build world-class funnels or just steal mine, then you can watch this video here.